Today we're going to do a circle check on your ice edger. Just like any other piece of equipment, this should be checked daily for optimized performance and that it's safe to operate. So starting the inspection, we're going to remove the battery cover by undoing the two latches, slightly pulling up. First, we're going to do a visual inspection of the tops of the batteries. We're looking for any charring or melting parts. We're going to physically go over each battery cable, give them a quick wiggle to ensure everything's tight and secure. Everything looks good there. We're going to take a quick look at the fuse. There's a sight gauge in the middle. If you can see the piece of tungsten inside, everything's good to go. We'll take a look at the contactor points. Everything's tight and secure. The motor piece is down here as well, tight and secure. And our pulse module, verifying that we can see the little LED that's flashing inside there. That means it's working properly. We're gonna reinsert the lid, ensure that both latches engage. You can feel a bit of resistance as you turn. If we don't feel that resistance, that usually means the latches are out of adjustment and this could come off during operation, which we don't want. So we're gonna put this into service position and we're gonna inspect everything underneath. So when this is going up in the service position, this handle needs to be faced up because when you go all the way down, that can bend the handle upwards. We don't want that to happen. So we want to inspect the cutting plate, making sure there's no hairline cracks or any physical damage to it. We're going to inspect each one of the blade holders and making sure there's no bends or wears inside of it. So far, everything looks pretty good. And we want to inspect each cutting tip, make sure they're tight and secure. You actually physically want to put your hand on it and give them a quick little wiggle. Any play or any wear spots is usually an indication that it's worn out or there's something wrong with it, and it could come off and become a projectile. Okay, everything's tight and secure there as well. We're also going to take a look at the casters, making sure there's no excessive end play or any flat spots inside the wheel. And we're also going to take a look at the front runners here, looking for any flat spots in the arch. So once we have the vehicle back off of its service position, we're going to check all the handles and levers. So this is our cut handle. We're looking for any eccentric play inside of that. So we got end play in the right there, the bushings. The bushings are plastic. They need to be tightened every once in a while. If you find any like that, we need to tighten that up and remove it, making sure that it goes to the both desired cut and transport position. We're also going to inspect the lever, making sure that it's hitting the button and that it returns freely. Do this a couple times to ensure it's working properly. And last thing is we're going to turn it on to verify that we don't have any fault codes with the unit as well. We're going to turn on the battery pack first. We're going to turn on the console second. We're going to wait for the click that we just heard there from the contactor. That means we're going to have electrical power that can go to the motor. And we're going to see that our LEDs are all lit up. That also is our state of charge. If we have any flashing LEDs, the chances are that we have a fault code and we have an issue with the machine. Chances are the lights are flashing, the unit will not work. So this here is your contactor. Essentially, it's a high voltage relay. There's a low current that's going to supply a high current. So when we turn the key switch on, you should hear a physical click. If that does click, that usually tells you that everything's working fine. One last thing you should also be checking is verifying that the crank's working properly, there's no bends or breaks, and that it can smoothly go up and down. This one looks pretty good. It could use a shot of grease. It looks a little dry, so make sure that you grease your 2 points down here and up here as well on a regular basis. We also want to make sure that the plastic runner is in good working condition, that there isn't any taper spots in it. The plastic piece should actually protrude the frame slightly, so it should be sticking past the actual frame. So making sure that these are covered, because if they're exposed, anything can touch that and actually damage the battery pack as well. Same thing goes for the charger side. So making sure that your charger is in a spot where it's not going to be affected by water and it's in a clean environment. On our fuel-powered edger, we're going to make sure that there's oil inside of it. So we're going to remove the dipstick. And there's a sight line. We're at the top of the threaded hole there, so we're good to go. We're going to verify that there's fuel in the tank. This one's gasoline powered. So We're gonna verify that there is gas inside of here, and there is gas inside of here, so we're good to go. Make sure that we hear that lid click when we close it. It's tight and secure. We're gonna inspect the air filter real quick to make sure there's no debris or ice paint that's gonna obstruct our view. Filter looks nice and clean. We'll go ahead and install the cover back on it. We're gonna check our battery connections. This model is electric start. Checking our ground cable, making sure our power cable's tight and secure. There's also a solenoid that's located down at the side of the machine. We're gonna check to make sure those connections are all tight and secure. And everything looks good there as well. We're gonna go to the shutdown mechanism. We're gonna pull on it. There's a bell crank on the side here. As you pull this lever down, it grounds the circuit to allow the spark to happen. When you let go, it should release, and that opens the circuit to stop the unit. We're gonna inspect the throttle cable, making sure it goes all the way forward. It stays there in that position, and we're gonna go back a couple positions, decreasing the throttle and making sure it stays in its position. Everything looks good there as well. We're gonna inspect the choke, making sure that it goes to the desired position for the chokes. So that's full choke when the lever's pulled all the way out, and that's the run position with it all the way in. Everything looks to be working pretty good there. We've got our pepcock on our fuel system. On position, it's gonna go the direction of flow. So creating a wall, let it flow. We're also gonna put this unit into the service position by putting it back on its back there. Same thing, ensuring that back handle's all the way up. We're gonna do a quick inspection of the front runners and skis. If we see any flat spots, everything looks to be pretty good there. I'm gonna give the axle assemble a quick wiggle. Everything looks good there as well. Same as our EZIII, we're gonna inspect our cutting points, put our fingers on it, everything looks tight and secure. Give the blade bar a quick shake. There's also engine oil crank seal right here as well. We're gonna make sure that we don't have any oil leaks down below. Everything looks nice and dry and clean. We're also gonna look at the rear runners as well. These can develop a flat spot as well, which brings the deck height down. These should be rotated annually as well. These ones look okay, so we're gonna go ahead and put them back into service. We're gonna inspect the spark plug wire. We don't see any damages or any contact on the engine. That all looks good. We're gonna inspect the crank assembly as well. We're gonna go all the way down, making sure there's no tight spots and it moves freely. No signs of bend in the crank. Everything looks good there as well. Once everything looks good there, we'll go ahead and try and fire it up. We're gonna take the choke all the way open. We're gonna turn the fuel on. We're gonna hold down the ignition shutdown lever, and we'll go ahead and hit the key. A common complaint we get is my new edger doesn't have the same performance as my old edger. The way this unit is designed is it has to be used daily. There's a desired walking speed with it. When cutting corners, taking multiple passes instead of taking one solid pass. Just like using your ice resurfacer, it's not a race. If you're not getting enough time to do your ice maintenance, that might be a conversation that you need to have with your management to ensure the best ice quality possible. You're still cutting ice, and there's a time factor that's required with that as well.